So you've taken your pictures and now you're ready to order some prints. Tony and I had Siobhan go to some sites, some of the 10 major ones, order prints so that we could compare them, the ordering process, and the prints themselves.
First, I wanted to ask, why don't you print them at home? Because I think everybody starts by using their bubble jet printer to print some prints.
Yeah.
First, it's actually more expensive, especially when you count those prints that don't quite work out because your cat jiggled the printer a little bit and it made a weird streak, or the color just ended up weird. It tends to be more expensive than ordering out, but also the quality is much, much lower. Not only is the image quality bad, but while it might look okay at first, they tend to fade very, very quickly because it's literally just ink on top of paper. So as it interacts with light, you're going to see it fade even after 3 months, 6 months, or a year. The print's going to be completely worthless and you're going to have to get it done. So even for our casual prints, we always send it out. Cheaper, easier, better quality.
Right. So the places that we tested were Bayphoto, H&H Color Lab, WHCC, Walmart, Adorama Pix, Nations Photo Lab, MPix, Pro DPI, Shutterfly, and CG Pro Prints. Pretty good assortment. And the judging criteria was on color, tone, exposure, clarity, the finish and weight of the photo paper, the packaging that it came in, the ease of ordering from the website, and also the price.
Of course, price.
I just wanted to show some packaging because people might think, why did you do that? I didn't plan to test that at first, but some of them showed up in really flimsy packaging, like just FedEx or Walmart, which could easily get bent. And some of them actually took the care to put them in a box and make sure they wouldn't shift or get wet. And then one even included candy, which I was like, come on, everybody else, step up your game.
Yeah.
Free candy.
Yeah, packaging might vary depending on how many prints you get, but it can definitely matter. You just need to have the mailman just fold one and put it in your mailbox before you don't want to order from them again.
That's just a picture with the packaging and all of the prints. So who are the winners? MPix.
Yes, MPix. They've been our favorite for years, and we went about this in using blind techniques, not labeling the pictures where we could see them, just picking our favorites. But
MPix was completely unlabeled when I judged it. Many of them were because they didn't label their packaging. And I thought, wow, this is really great. This one was affordable and it looks good. Just across the board, MPix did really well.
And their prices were great too, at only $2.09 for an 8x10.
Yeah, they got a 10 across the board. The only thing that they did not get a 10 on was packaging because they had just a very simple mailer. Nothing got bent though. Siobhan was in charge of placing the actual orders online, so let's hear how it was for her to order.
My favorite, which were MPix and Adorama Pix, both had easy to use, easy to navigate sites. They were well designed. MPix was $2.09 for a basic 8x10, $6.04 total for with shipping.
These prices do not include shipping, and that's kind of hard to assess because shipping is going to vary. If you're getting one print, the shipping cost is going to seem outrageous for that one print, but if you're getting 10 prints, that shipping cost is probably fixed. It's important to note that Bayphoto here did not charge for shipping, even for just one print, so it kind of makes it an even better value.
So one thing to take into consideration is that WHCC came in lower than MPix. Their pictures actually looked very similar, but their website was more difficult, and the ordering process was more difficult.
Right, and that's the kind of thing you'd push past after using it a couple of times. All these in third place here require a separate uploader, so you actually have to download a tool to your computer and use that. So we gave MPix the nod for having a very user-friendly website that didn't require separate software, but on the other hand, you might save money with Bayphoto because the shipping cost might be zero, which they might be higher with MPix.
Here's what Siobhan thought of that site.
Next was WHCC. Hideous website, but you get 5 free test prints. So an 8x10 regularly is $2.20, not bad. So we just sent in to get 5 free test prints, and we'll see how those come out.
Pro DPI got a half a point for providing me with free candy. But I should also note, even though these tied, even taking out the free candy, these ones in third tied, Pro DPI, the color was just slightly not as good as the other two, but it made up for it in other areas.
Yeah, some things people don't necessarily understand is that color will vary from printer to printer because when you submit a JPEG or any type of file, the way the printer makes that is going to vary. So what generally happens is there's a process at the printing service where they look at the picture and decide exactly how much contrast, saturation, exposure, etc. to print. This helps to fix problem photos for casual photographers who might have underexposed something, but it's also basically necessary because every printer is different and you don't always get the what you see is what you get. Now, if you don't want somebody looking at your photos and interpreting it, you probably do. Even professionals, we use MPix and we let them go ahead and judge the colors because they know their printing hardware. You would have to know the printing hardware to do it yourself. That can be possible. Many printers will allow you to download the printer profiles and install them on your computer. And then if you use the print module and an expensive professional grade tool like Lightroom, you can actually match the output to that specific printer so you have a better idea of what you're actually getting. But that's a lot of work. And we just find it easier to send it off to a service that actually looks at it and has a person grade it.
Yeah, I was really happy with the MPix result. Let's look at the not greats. I don't want to call them losers, because many of them weren't bad. CG Pro prints, the prints weren't bad, they just weren't as good as the other ones. Walmart and Shutterfly, they weren't very good. And Shutterfly came in last. It did even worse than Walmart. But I do have to say that we only got one picture printed, and it could really depend on the picture.
Yeah, your experiences may vary, but both Walmart and Shutterfly are different from some of these others in that they are consumer services. They're bulk services who automate everything so people aren't looking at your individual prints. And that shows in the prints. Both of these had exposure and color problems, and it was obvious looking at them.
Here's what Siobhan had to say about that site.
Next was Shutterfly, easy, basic. That's what a lot of people use. But their 8x10 was actually the most expensive at $399. And it was $742 total with shipping.
You can see that MPix has the right color and tone, and that Shutterfly, well, it's overexposed now and it's too bright and it doesn't fit the mood of the original picture. It's also very blurry. You can't see the clarity. You're going to have to take my word for it, but it lost a lot of detail. If you compare Shutterfly versus Walmart, well, Walmart desaturated the picture. They had the opposite problem, but they actually had better clarity. So Walmart scored better than Shutterfly.
I'll also add that any 1 hour service is going to be much lower quality because you're using the printer that they have on site there. Sometimes we'll use Walmart's 1 hour service when you need a print immediately, but I'm always disappointed in it. It's always streaky. The color's always a little bit off because you're relying on the guy who works at the Walmart print service to actually print it out, and lower grade hardware.
Here's what Siobhan thought of that site.
Walmart has a fine basic uploader, what you would expect from Walmart. The print itself was $284 by an 8x10, which is higher than any of those previous. Shipping was cheap though. The total was only $407.
Can I add a few things that I liked about the services that did well? I liked that WHCC provided a little brochure and they gave you samples of all the different photo papers that they have. So even though I only ordered one print, I can go through and I can see that they have what the luster paper looks like. They give you a variety of pictures so you can see what the colors are like and the textures. That really encourages me to order again from them because I can see that they can provide other services that I like. And Pro DPI did the same thing, and they actually went a step above and beyond because they included examples of invitations, baby announcements. These are things that I'd love to get for my clients and I'd love to show people. I have physical copies now, so if I wanted to order with them again, first of all, I know their prints are great. I know I'm going to get free candy, and I have examples of all the different papers that they offer so I can see what they feel like and look like, and examples of the products. I love that. I think they have a return customer in me. One other thing I should mention about Pro DPI is that they also give you 3 free sample prints. We didn't have to pay for the sample prints. They'll just send you the free sample prints, and you can get different pictures done, which I really like because you can... we chose a lot of similar pictures, but what you should do is choose one that's high key, different ones from your shoot. That
Landscape,
landscape to see how they're going to print. And
yeah, they are watermarked. You don't get to use them.
They're watermarked. Yeah, you don't get to use them. Let's cut to Siobhan and see what she thought.
Then I did Pro DPI. You need to download a photo uploader, which is kind of irritating. They're all horribly designed, not easy to use. They were difficult because you have to have, I believe, a $12 minimum order for shipment to a studio, and we didn't do that. But you can get 3 sample photos for free.
So for my own personal purposes, it seems like MPix, which we had been using, continues to be at the top. So I'll probably use them for the standard prints. But I still need to go to Bay Photo to get some more complex prints done. We do a lot of like big prints for galleries,
Right.
and they have specialty materials. They'll print it on wood for you with like special depth, and they can do more complex things. We're talking about prints that cost $250.
But MPix has a different service called Miller. They're actually printed out of the same facility, but with Miller, you have to be a professional photographer. You have to log in, and they have more upscale products, and their products are beautiful. We saw them at a trade show. They have gorgeous leather-bound books, linen books, and cardstock. It's really beautiful.
Sounds great. I'll check it out.
We want to hear your suggestions, too. So if we missed a big one, if we missed your favorite, if there's a better option, let us know, and this is a video we can always update.
So if you have any questions, contact me at tony@northrop.org. Thanks.